When The Rock's initial run in the WWE came to an end, it was when he suffered from his very first knee injury. And even though he was playing a hero character, the audience had already turned on him and begun chanting what would be a major turning point: Rocky sucks. He finally came back to live television following months of rehabilitation. And after the match in front of the thousands in attendance, The Rock grabbed a microphone, stood in the middle of the ring, and addressed every single person in the arena. Rocky may be a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. It was the moment that The Rock transitioned into a villainous character, and about a month later became the hottest heel in the company. Before Hollywood, before WWE, Dwayne's first love was football. After being extremely successful, his performance declined due to an injury that stopped him from being the MVP he became. Being left out from the draft for the team he was playing for at the time, Dwayne realized he's got no choice but to look forward. Deciding to try out a career in wrestling, his father discouraged him as he was a wrestler himself and knew what kind of toll it takes on a man and his family. But Dwayne was adamant on what he wanted. His father finally said yes, under the condition that he would train Dwayne himself. Debuting under the ring name Rocky Maivia, Dwayne was pushed heavily as a hero character despite of his inexperience in the business. After getting cheated out of his dream of becoming a footballer, things couldn't have looked worse. The audience turned on him, he got injured, and he had to take the time off. When the moment finally came for Dwayne to return, he realized that it wasn't him that the audience hated. It was him not being himself that the people despised. And in that moment, Rocky died and The Rock was born. He went on to embrace all the hate being thrown at him and mold it into something to throw back at the audience and entertain them in a way that the Rocky sucks chants turned entirely into something else. And he became one of the top faces of the company, alongside the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He went on to win the heavyweight championship on numerous occasions, headlining countless pay-per-views, selling millions of dollars of merchandise, and cementing his legacy as an unforgettable WWE superstar. A lot of people would say, what more is there for The Rock to accomplish? But this is not how his mind worked. After climbing the highest mountain in WWE, it was time for him to climb another mountain, somewhere else. His very first acting job was on That 70s Show, where he played a character of his own father. But it wasn't until he played a small but a vital role in The Mummy Returns that he found an opening to what would be a record breaker in Hollywood. He played the lead character in The Scorpion King and made $5.5 million, which was completely unheard of for an actor playing his very first lead role. The Rock continued to climb the ladder by playing diverse characters in movies like The Game Plan, Tooth Fairy, and Get Smart. Even though these movies were nowhere near groundbreaking, they established The Rock as an actor who's unafraid in entertaining the audiences by his unpredictable choices, alongside his predictable ones, but impressive performances with Faster, Gridiron Gang, and Fast Five. By the end of December 2013, Forbes named The Rock as the highest grossing actor of the year, with his films bringing in a total of $1.3 billion. Dwayne took his newly found love of filmmaking to the next level with his own production company, $7, which he named after the crisis he faced of not being drafted for the football team he was playing for. At the time, he only had $7 in his pocket and knew only two things: I'm broke, and one day I won't be. After repeating all the success in Hollywood, he came back to WWE for a dream match against the top guy at the time, John Cena. Their first confrontation at WrestleMania was epic in all size and proportions, and even though their rematch wasn't as enjoyable as the first one, they still gave us the rivalry that will stand the test of time. In the middle of 2017, Dwayne yet again captured the people's imagination with his decision to run for the 2020 presidential campaign race. But it really doesn't matter if he wins or not. He's already created something that no other man will be able to replicate ever again. Every time you end up thinking about The Rock, Don't just think about how charismatic, powerful, or successful he is. If you really want to take something away from what The Rock has created, take away this. The Rock went from an ambitious young man with shattered hopes and broken dreams to the man with everything in the world. Even if he wins the 2020 presidential race, he's not going to stop at that. He's not going to stop at anything. As long as he wakes up in the morning, he's going to get up, wear his smile, and just go to work.
I have been a huge fan of The Rock since the age of 12, and I have seen his evolution from a mega WWE superstar to a Hollywood conqueror. And every time you think about him, he will give you this massive boost of inspiration and the will to make it in your life and achieve your goals and aims. And I hope I was able to do justice to his narrative with this video. So if you liked it, please share this with your friends and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned to some mind-twisting narratives every month in the hopes of connecting with story lovers all over the world. This is Mr. Zeecon in the making of a great story.